I, John, now follow me. He's on the Isle of Patmos in 95 AD. He steps out into a vision that has to do with something that hadn't even happened yet, called the tribulation. And he watches the whole tribulation unfold all the way to the millennial kingdom of Christ, all the way to the great white throne judgment, all the way to new heaven and new earth. Now, in the process, of him seeing the vision, he is in heaven in the future. You with me? But yet it's not future yet, because his body is in a cave on the Isle of Patmos in 95 AD. But he has stepped out in the future, but he sees it in heaven. Now I want to show you something odd. There are angels in the book of Revelation that begin to pour out judgments on the earth. Now, first thing you got to understand is the Greek word angelos. Angelos. Angel. The Greek word does not just mean an angel with wings that you can't see. It's translated 7 times in the King James as messenger. But it can be, and this can be proven by Revelation, the Greek word angelos can be a human or a divine messenger. Unto the angel of the church of Laodicea, unto the angel. Now those were pastors. Jesus talked about, remember, the stars in his hand and the candlesticks. These are the pastors. He calls them angels. Why? They're messengers. So angelos is a messenger. Now I'm going somewhere with this, so you got to follow me carefully. So John in Revelation starts seeing angels blow trumpets. Angels pour out judgments. So he gets toward the end of the book of Revelation, and the last 7 angels, all right? 7 angels poured out 7 vials of the wrath of God on the earth, and we think it's angels with wings. The 7th angel, in Revelation 10:7, in the days of the 7th angel, the mystery is finished, and then that angel is the one that says it is done in Revelation 16:17. So here we go. John's in heaven. John gets to the end of the book, and here's what happens. Then one of the 7 angels who had the 7 bowls filled with the 7 last plagues came to me and talked to me, saying, "Come, I'll show you the bride of the Lamb's wife." So who's carrying on the conversation with John? One of the 7 angels pouring out the vials. You with me? So is it an angel with wings? No, I'm going to show you who it is. Then in Revelation 22:8-9. Now I, John, saw and heard these things. When I heard and saw, I fell down to worship before the feet of the angel who showed me these things. But he said to me, "See that you do it not. I am your fellow servant. I am of your brethren the prophets, who keep the word of this book." Hold on. Wait a minute, John. You're seeing 7 angels, and one of the 7 who's pouring out these judgments has just come to you and let you know he is not a heavenly being. He's a fellow servant. He's a prophet. He keeps the word of the book. Now, let me talk to you for a moment about the judgments. Here's the judgments being poured out. This is Revelation 16:2-12. Sores are appearing on men that have the mark of the beast. The sea is becoming as blood. The rivers are turning to blood. The sun scorches men. Severe darkness comes on the earth. The Euphrates River dries up. And the 7th angel, every 7th angel at the vial judgment, 7th angel at the trumpet judgment, doesn't pour out anything. He simply says, "It is finished and it is done." That's because the menorah had 6 branches and the servant branch was the spokes. Last night, you'd have to go back to that. I don't want to get sidetracked. Here's what's bizarre. I can take you to every one of these judgments and show you an Old Testament prophet who predicted that judgment would one day happen. The sun shall be darkened and the moon turned to blood before the great and terrible day of the Lord. Joel. Isaiah. The earth shall be shaken out of its places and the constellations shall fall from the sky. Isaiah. Ready? Those 7 angels are 7 Old Testament prophets who get to pour out the judgment they predicted. Now we go deeper. There are 6 of them that pour out a judgment, but angel 7 never touches a judgment. The angel 7 is walking around saying, "It's done. It's finished." And this is the angel who says to John, I'm your servant. What if I would have tell you, John was looking at himself? Because the Lord told him, you must prophesy again to many nations and to many people. Well, he would have known himself. Really? When you're a 95-year-old old-looking man and you got a resurrected body? Gotta say it again. He's in heaven in the future where he will be when these judgments are poured out. John will have been resurrected. John will have been in heaven. He is participating in the activity of the very book he wrote. Come with me, I'll show you this. Come with me, I'll show you this. And he turns and he worships. He said, don't want to do that. I am a fellow servant. I keep the testimony of this book too. I am a prophet. So worship God. Look, I'm not telling you he saw himself. I'm just telling you he saw himself. Now, I'm not making a doctrine out of this. Make it very clear. There's things I'll tell you. You can't totally prove it. But I can prove this. I can tell you unequivocally, those angels were prophets. I can tell you that. Now, that's just the beginning of where we're going.